April 29th, 1945. Somewhere outside Munich. A lieutenant colonel hears gunfire behind a coal yard wall. He knows that sound. He's heard it for 500 days straight. But this time, something is wrong. The rhythm is wrong. The screaming is wrong. He runs. When he rounds the corner, he sees one of his own men behind a machine gun, shaking, firing, crying. He fires his pistol into the air. He kicks the gunner off the weapon. He screams, "What the hell are you doing?" The soldier can't answer. He just keeps crying. This man, Lieutenant Colonel Felix Sparks, has commanded troops through 500 consecutive days of combat. He has watched more men die under his command than most officers see in an entire career. He has never lost control. And right now, standing in this coal yard, he is closer to the edge than he has ever been. What broke him, what broke all of them, started 2 hours earlier, with a smell. April 1945. The war in Europe has days left. The 45th Infantry Division, the Thunderbirds, is pushing through southern Bavaria toward Munich. These are not fresh troops. They have fought across North Africa, Sicily, Anzio, southern France, and the Ardennes. 500 consecutive days of combat. They have learned to survive by shutting down. Not bravery, numbness. The ability to see death and keep moving. By the spring of 1945, that numbness is the only thing holding most of them together. Many believe they have already seen the worst that war can produce. They are wrong. That morning, new orders arrive. Secure a facility outside Munich. A camp. The name means nothing to them. Dachau. Most of them have never heard the name. Intelligence briefings mentioned labor camps, but details were vague. No one in the ranks knows what a concentration camp actually looks like. No one has been told what to expect. They are about to walk into it blind. They approach from the south. The countryside is quiet. White sheets hang from village windows. German resistance is collapsing. For the first time in months, some soldiers allow themselves to think about home. Then the wind shifts. Before they see anything, they smell it. Not the smell of a battlefield. Something different. Heavier. Sweeter. Something that 500 days of war has no reference for. Many soldiers later say this is the moment they know. Before the gates. Before the guards. Before anything they can see. The smell tells them what's coming. They keep moving forward. But what's waiting at the railway tracks will change every man who sees it. Near the camp entrance, a train sits motionless on a siding. About 40 rail cars, small European boxcars, the kind built to hold 40 men standing. The first soldier to look inside stops moving. Bodies, men, women, still in striped uniforms. The next car, the same. The next, the same. Car after car after car. Over 2,000 dead. The train had left Buchenwald 4 weeks earlier. Over 5,000 prisoners sealed inside. What should have taken hours became weeks. The doors were never opened. No food, no water, no air. Those who didn't starve suffocated. Those who didn't suffocate froze. And the train kept rolling until it reached Dachau, where it sat on this siding, waiting for someone to find it. Some of the dead still had their hands pressed against the walls, fingernails broken, splinters driven into skin. They had tried to claw their way out. In several cars, the bodies were so tightly packed that they remained upright. There was no room to fall. One soldier from the 42nd Infantry Division, which arrived at the same time, later described opening a boxcar door and watching a wall of bodies shift toward him. He said he caught one, and then realized the man had been dead for days. Felix Sparks later wrote that the scene numbed his senses. Hardened combat veterans kneel beside the tracks. Some pray, some can't move, some vomit, some weep. Men who haven't cried in 3 years of war, and every one of them believes this is the worst thing they will see today. They are wrong. Beyond the rail cars, the gates open. And the first thing Sparks sees is a man trying to stand. He's gripping the doorframe of a barracks with both hands. His legs won't hold him. He weighs maybe 80 pounds. He looks up at Sparks, and his expression doesn't change. No relief, no fear, nothing. After years of this place, liberation doesn't register as real. Some prisoners crawl toward the soldiers. Others don't move at all. A few try to speak but produce no sound. Their throats too dry, their bodies too far gone. One GI tries to hand a prisoner a chocolate bar. The man takes it, stares at it, and then looks back up, as if he's forgotten what food is for. The soldiers are trained to fight. They are not trained for this. Behind him, 1,000 men are packed into a space built for 200. Typhus is spreading faster than the camp's crematoria can process the dead. And those crematoria have been running until hours before the Americans arrive. This is not a prison. It is a system. Organized, deliberate, built to destroy human beings. And now the men who built it are standing at the gates, with their hands up. As American units move through the camp, remaining SS guards face a choice. Some flee, some change uniforms, some stay and raise a white flag. A formal surrender begins, but nothing about this is formal. In 500 days of combat, these soldiers have processed hundreds of surrenders. Weapons down, hands raised. Prisoners moved to the rear, mechanical, practiced, but never after walking through rail cars filled with the dead. Never after seeing crematoria still warm. Never after looking into the face of a man who can't stand on his own legs and doesn't believe he's being saved. And now the men responsible for all of it are asking for protection under the very laws they spent years destroying. Something breaks. Soldiers from Sparks's battalion line SS guards against the coal yard wall. A private gets behind a machine gun. He opens fire. Other soldiers join in. By the time it's over, SS guards are lying along the base of the wall. Some are dead, some are wounded, crawling. No order was given, no trial was held. These are American soldiers, executing unarmed prisoners. And now we're back where we started. Sparks hears the shots, sprints to the yard, fires into the air, kicks the gunner off the weapon. The gunner is crying, not because he's afraid of punishment, because he doesn't know how to stop. Sparks restores order, but the damage is done. This is the moment that separates Dachau from every other liberation, not because of what the Nazis did inside the camp, because of what the camp did to the men who opened it. Sparks understood that. He understood why his men broke. He had nearly broken himself. He later wrote that what he saw that day made Dante's Inferno seem pale in comparison. He refused to judge them, but Dachau wasn't finished with them yet. 6 weeks later, the U.S. Army completed its investigation. Witness statements, photographs, reconstruction of events. The findings confirmed violations of the laws governing prisoners of war. Further action was recommended. None was taken. No American soldier was prosecuted. The file was classified. It remained sealed for decades. It took until the 1980s before historians began to reconstruct what happened in that coal yard. Even then, many veterans refused to speak about it. Not because they were ashamed of what others had done, but because they understood it. Felix Sparks went home, became a lawyer, rose to the Colorado Supreme Court, a man who ruled on law after witnessing a day when law collapsed entirely. He never stopped talking about Dachau. He said he thought about it every single night, that nothing in any courtroom carried the weight of what he saw at those tracks, that he carried it every day. He died in 2007, 89 years old. He had carried Dachau for 62 of those years, and it never let him go.